All right. Good afternoon,
Good.
Monica. This is Danielle from Ronstadt. I am pleased to start this portion of the interview. We've already been chatting a little bit about your experience in the role that I'm hiring for, that I think you could be a good fit. So at this point in time, what I'd like to do is allow you to tell me a little bit about the work that you've been doing that you feel would be relevant to the position we discussed. So you have the floor.
Thank you. I am judicial assistant to a chief circuit judge for Monroe County, which is the 16th Judicial Circuit. I have previously worked as a legal assistant in Volusia County and the 7th Circuit in the past. I do reside in Flagler Beach, so I'm not far from Volusia County. As far as my administrative experience, it goes a long way back. Currently, I'm supporting my judge. He's my only boss. I do work sometimes with court administration, but I mostly work for him. I'm at his disposal. I organize his calendar. I manage his calendar. I set up hearings with all the attorneys that contact me. I sort through emails on a daily basis, on average of 30 to 50 emails a day. We handle a lot of cases because we're a small district with only a few judges. I also work with the 3rd DCA, which is a district court of appeals. So I'm familiar with some of the judges that I deal with there. And I have organized his outings, his trips, his refunds when he travels. I set up hotels for him. I am really his back end call and just his right hand. I represent the court. So I try my best to put on a good face at all times, always with a smile, and try to be very polite when I receive my calls, best as I can, because I do represent the court. Prior to that, I was also supervising. I was a pretrial officer at some point in my past life, and I supervised about 250 people. So I used to organize their testing, their checking, the urinalysis. I was setting up calendars for them. They had to reconvene once a month. So I was handling a lot of that. And I used CRM tools as well. So I was pretty proficient with Salesforce. Before that, I also worked as inside sales in a technology company. And I was also dealing with the public, setting up schedules, dealing with outside salesmen, looking at budgets, and dealing with large corporations like very, very big companies. So I have been in the administrative world pretty much my entire life. And so I'm very easy to pick up tools, and I really am familiar with a lot of software, and I don't have an issue. I'm quite IT, regardless of my age. I'm quite IT prone, so I actually pick up software very, very easy. And if there's something to learn, I'm not scared of learning it. I just picked up AI, and I've been working with that. And so IT does not frighten me. So whatever you throw my way, I'm pretty quick at picking it up.
Absolutely.
I do speak French and Italian, and I do understand Spanish.
You said French and Italian.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. And so a lot of your career, of course, was in the legal world. So I feel like it goes without saying that you have working knowledge of legal terminology.
Yes.
On a daily basis.
Yes.
And you work with lots of confidential information.
Very much so. Very much so, because my judge, being circuit judge,
yes,
and being chief judge, he also takes care of a lot of injunctions, family cases in which there are family crises, RPOs, all kinds of issues that unfortunately affect families. And we have to maintain a level of privacy and secrecy that is utmost important to the world out there, to the community.
Sure.
Especially, we're in a small community and everybody knows everyone. So it's very, very important that we keep and maintain that level of diplomacy and secrecy and regard for the community.
Absolutely. So one other thing that I wanted to touch on that we talked about, because I had a question on it. So your job is in Key West, and so you currently live in Key West. However, you have a house here in Flagler as well, that the goal is that that's where you want to be. So ideally in the next few weeks or so, coming into the new year, that's where you want to be. Your property is for sale in Key West, but your moving here is not reliant on that selling. You have the ability to move here, correct?
Correct. The house is ready to go. As a matter of fact, I'm handling 2 sets of bills at the moment. My son was living there with his bride for the past year. And now they moved to New Jersey. And so the house is empty. And that also prompted my decision to go back. I love Volusia, and I love Flagler County, St. John's, that whole area. It's still in my heart daily. And so that's where I want to live, and that's where I want to move back. But the house is ready to go. So
okay. Wonderful. And then I did also want to mention one other thing, because I questioned it. So I'm thinking maybe a client might as well. So you mentioned that you were in Volusia, then you went to Key West, and now that you're coming back. You did mention this to me off camera, so I hope it's okay to mention here. But you moved back to Key West to care for your mom.
my mother at the time was living in Key West. She's now in a facility. She has reached dementia, unfortunately, and she needed full care. So we put her in a facility in actually Central Florida. So I'm really the only one in my family that stayed behind and is left here.
Okay.
My daughter's moved to Delray very recently. My son is in New Jersey. So I'm really, I have no attachments except for my job.
Sure, absolutely. Well, and then of course you want to be closer to the Orlando market, because now that your mom is here too, I'm assuming. Okay. All right, wonderful. Well, I think that's all the questions that I have. Oh, you know what? I did want to ask you when you were talking. I wrote down a note. Are you a notary?
Yes, I'm a notary public.
I figured. I just wanted to.
Yes, we get a lot of, during duty week for my judge, we get a lot of warrants to sign. And a lot of the times the officers will walk in and they'll need a notary. So I'm a notary. I notarize it.
Perfect.
Quite a few documents every day.
All right, wonderful. I think I have all the notes. I've been typing, as you probably saw me doing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop this portion of the interview, but don't go anywhere. We have a few more things to talk about.
Okay.